Oh, there you are, YouTube. So I just watched this Keanu movie called Henry's Crime. I think it came out probably in 2010, 2011. I don't know, somewhere around there. And I guess to preface, it was a Mother's Day gift for my wife from me and the kids because we are like deep into Keanu Reeves filmography, watching as many of his films as possible that we can, that are available. And I don't know, we're up to 30 something. And we, yeah, that was one that, we had heard good things about and, wanted to see. And it wasn't streaming anywhere without, I think, renting it. But we thought, let's just go ahead and buy it. So we bought it, and it really wasn't, I don't know, we didn't know what to expect, but the tone, I guess, was not what we expected. It was very weird. It felt very familiar, its tone, but it's difficult to place it in similarity to a specific film, but instead to multiple films, because I think my wife, she described it as Ocean's 11 mixed with Sideways, and I would add to that maybe it like maybe just a Woody Allen movie, but like Woody Allen from the 2000s and maybe 2010s, like that movie Scoop that Woody Allen made. I don't know, sort the way the film like switched from scene to scene just had like Woody Allen pacing to it or something like that. So it reminded me of that. I should see. I don't know what he does his own editing or not, but I should see if he has an editor that he specifically uses. If this person who edited this movie, Henry's Crime, did I even say it was called Henry's Crime? I think I did. Just wondering if that's the same editor, because I don't know, just something felt very much like Scoop or Woody Allen movies from that time. And I would also, and this really isn't a film that exists, but it reminded me, or it felt like something that, at least in Keanu's character, something that Jim Carrey would try to do during a time where he's wanting to get maybe more dramatic, like still have humor, still have comedy, but a more dramatic bent to it. It like the movie's nothing like Truman Show, but something like that, where he's dabbling with other directors, trying things, almost like if Jim Carrey were to be in a Woody Allen movie, sort of. Like imagine that. Or I don't know. I don't even know what I'm saying when I'm saying that, but it seems like something Jim Carrey would try to do when he's looking for a more serious role, but something indie that he's not necessarily expecting awards recognition for. Does that make sense? I'm not sure if that makes sense. But it felt like all of those movies and feelings sort of blended together into what it was. I thought it was interesting when, I don't know if I thought it was interesting, but I don't know. New topic. Not new topic, but a new thing I'm going to say about the movie. I feel like, had this come out when I was in college, I would have fallen asleep to this movie all the time. It never gets too loud, and it just, I don't know, has a nice even keel pacing to it that would make it very easy to put on and then slowly slip into the caramel. Just pass out very, very easily, Not saying it's a bad movie and that's why it would make me sleep. It just has a very great feel to it. Like Star Trek, Next Generation has a great feel to it, perfect for falling asleep. I think it's that engine hum that we're hearing constantly in Star Trek that is great for that. This doesn't have an engine hum, but just something about the pacing, the way the characters talk, the editing, everything just makes it a perfect nap movie. But watch the movie and then use it as a nap movie, is what I would say. But yeah, Keanu's good. I think he plays a unique character. He's like this guy who, I guess is probably giving a little bit away, but He's a guy who's very unhappy in his marriage, and he accidentally gets dragged into this bank heist, this bank robbery. He has no clue what's going on. He thinks he's just going to a softball game, and then all of his teammates run into a bank, rob it, and expect him to be, the getaway car. But they all, take a run for it, but he gets caught because he's like, what's going on? And basically they're like, hey, if you give up the names of the other robbers, you won't go to prison, but if you don't talk, you'll be going to prison for like 3 years. And you can see him thinking to himself, I'm unhappy in my marriage. I bet if I go to prison for 3 years, my wife will leave me. So he goes to prison for 3 years with the hopes that his wife will leave him during that time. And it happens. So it works, but that's just the very beginning of the movie. Then it turns into some other things. But I just feel like his best acting in the film is during that period where he is playing a very depressed and unhappy husband. You can just feel how hollow he is and just how he's just coasting through life. I feel like he was doing a great job at that personality. And then when he gets out of prison, decides to actually rob the bank that he didn't rob. So a little bit more spoilers there. I think he has like a little bit more of a spark because it's not fully there because I believe he is so completely drained. He's like thinking he can find excitement in life from actually robbing a bank, but it's not fully there because he has to find, something else in his life that gives him true happiness, which is not robbing the bank. So you can see he has like an artificial spark. So it's very subtle acting that I think is very good. Also, I think the movie was maybe an hour and 50 minutes, but I feel like it felt kind of long, but that's due to that sort of measured, slow pacing that it has, which I think mirrors Keanu's character very well. But if you're not looking for a movie that feels slow, I don't necessarily recommend this because I feel like it feels slow, but deliberately so. And if it's not deliberate, I guess I can find justification for it. But anyway, the movie's called Henry's Crime, and I enjoyed it. I don't know how often I'd be watching it. I don't fall asleep to TV or movies anymore, but if this movie came out back when I did, I know I would be popping this one in the Blu-ray player, the DVD player, all the time. So on that note, perhaps I'll see you tomorrow for more Pure Hangout.